When there's no more hope is left in me, I can see what comes my way, and I'm always lost. There's nowhere else to go. All I do is fall. Feels like I can make it more than I could bear. Giving up is all that I can surrender to you.
Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's me again. I am Ruby Andrew. Please go to YouTube, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so whenever I upload new videos you are not left behind. Give the video a thumbs up and please don't forget to comment down below, because this video specifically I'm going to talk about something people have been asking me for many years. Let me not say many years, but I can say for at least 3 years. People have been asking me this one question, but I've not been giving people answers. But today I'm here to answer your questions. You don't have to go and ask anyone else anymore. So please head to YouTube and make sure you don't watch and leave. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. That's the only way you're going to support me. So for those who are new here, thank you so much. I appreciate. So let's go straight to the business. So guys, I'm back. People have been asking me this one question. Hey Ruby, what happened to your baby? Hey Ruby, is your baby okay? Hey Ruby, are you okay? I've been getting those kind of questions. You know yourself, you've been asking me this question for years and years. But today I'm going to answer you that specific question. So let me pull my chair and get myself comfortable. You know, most of the time when you go to watch a movie or watch a show, normally they say grab your popcorn, grab your drink, grab whatever you can grab. But today I'm not going to tell you to grab your popcorn or your drink. For me, you see, I'm here with my handkerchief. You know why? Whatever I'm going to talk about, it's very emotional. And this is the reason why I haven't been sharing this story. But today, I am going to talk about it. It is what it is. So, this is the reason why I decided to talk about it. Not even because people have been asking me, but the most important thing is I've been watching YouTube channels, specifically those channels that entails medical stuff. And there are so many things I learned from those channels, and there's some things I've put in practice, and it has really helped my baby. So that's why I was like, okay, someone had to put their story out there for me to benefit from that story. So I decided, like, why not? Because this is something I've always wanted to do, and I'm so glad that finally I'm doing it. Some of you know my kids, some of you don't. Some of you have met her, some of you have not. Most of you have not. But in July, she's going to turn 5 years. She was born like any other normal kid. Something happened when she was 7 months. I won't go into details because of some reasons, but I'll just touch on the surface. She went to bed and she woke up and she couldn't breathe. She had a cardiac arrest. We were supposed to travel to Africa, Kenya being specific, literally the following day. I remember it was like February 28th. So in March 1st, a day like this, we were supposed to travel. And this is the reason why I'm saying this story, because this thing happened like almost the same time like today. She woke up, she struggled to breathe, she couldn't breathe. So I had to call 911, which they came in like 4 or 5 minutes. They were in my house already. The baby was on the floor. Even before they came, the baby was on the floor. So I was trying to do CPR on her. At the same time, I was trying to call 911. I'm trying to, help her breathe. I'm trying to do mouth to mouth, but nothing helped. So the moment they came in, the baby was not breathing already. So they tried to give her some oxygen, which it never helped. But, man, I still have that picture in my head. And I should tag that photo. Because I have the photos, I have the videos, I have everything. I was trying to, capture that moment. As much as it was hard, I needed that moment. I remember when the paramedics came in, they are trying to help her breathe. She was not breathing. At the same time, the cops came in. They were trying to ask me questions. They wanted to know what's going on with the baby, which I do understand. So it's part of the process. But then I had one of the paramedic guys said, I don't think she's breathing. But he was talking to somebody else. He was not talking to me. So he said, I don't think he's breathing. So the other guy said, yeah, she looks dead. Can you imagine from sleeping to waking up to dead? They didn't know I was listening, but I was outside the door and I was listening everything and I was watching everything they were doing. They called the hospital, they took the baby quickly and they put her in the vehicle and we rushed to the hospital. And there's one thing I learned, something hit later on. As drivers, I've never done that myself, but then there are some drivers, unapata like the ambulance inakimbia, or they are rushing someone to the hospital, or they are rushing to pick someone. They're rushing to save a life, but you find another driver, it's like they're trying to race with the ambulance. That's something I've seen before. That moment, unaweza kumefungia mtu kwa barabara, that could be your mother, that could be your father, that could be your brother, that could be your sister in that vehicle, that could be your friend, that could be your relative in that vehicle. They need help, That's what I learned, and I hope everyone learns the same thing. Don't race with ambulance on the road. Just give them way. So back to my story. And I remember when I was in the vehicle, I called my dad. Normally I don't call my dad because I don't like stressing him with some bad news. So I try to keep such news to myself. But this specific day, I didn't even know how to control myself. I called my dad and I was like, oh, Dad, my baby's dying, my baby's dying, my baby's dead. So my dad was like, because my dad knew I was going to Africa. My dad got confused, like, what are you talking about? Calm down, calm down. So he's trying to calm me down. But then me, I'm crying and I'm crying and I'm crying. At the same time, I'm looking at my baby. I can't even explain to you. We are heading to the hospital. So my dad was like, I'm going to call you. Let me call you back. So my dad went and prayed. Later on, he told me that, and that's what I was told. He went to pray. But when we go to the hospital, we found nurses, doctors, I don't know. I saw like almost 20 plus people waiting for us. I don't know who those people were, but there were so many people who were waiting for us. So they took the baby straight to the emergency room. Literally, we were carrying a dead body to the hospital, trying to rescue a dead body. She was not breathing. So when we go to the hospital, they placed her on the bed, and the doctor, she took the scissors and she cut through the top that she was wearing. They didn't even have time to remove the top the normal way. They had to cut through. Imagine it was that bad. So for me, I'm there, I'm crying, I'm confused. So they have called the social worker, they have called the chaplain of the hospital. They're trying to talk to me. Then there was another police officers, they're trying to question me. So it was so overwhelming. I was confused at that moment. I don't have my family here, it's just me. So it was the worst moment in my life. And I remembered something at that moment. When my mom was alive, she used to say, sometimes she could even pray about it, and she could say, oh God, I know one day you will come to my family, you will knock my door, and you will take someone from my family. But God, when that time comes, please take me first. My mom used to say that most of the time. My mom used to say, I am sacrificing for my family because I cannot live knowing that I lost my kids. So this is what happened. They tried to shock her. They did the first time. Didn't work the first time. Then she did it after I don't know, I can't remember if it's a minute or a few seconds. Then she did it the second time. It didn't work. Guys, remember this is like a 7-month-old baby. It's not like she's a grown-up. She looked dead. Not she looked dead. She was, because she was not breathing. There was no pulse. That machine was reading 0, literally. She was not breathing. And at some point, I realized that, or I felt like, yeah, I'm really losing my kid. It's like I'm going back home without my kid. And the doctor said, I'm sorry, ma'am. There's nothing we can do. Then I'm like, you are sorry? What do you mean you are sorry? What do you mean there's nothing you can do? That was the hardest moment in my life as a mom. Wacha hii story yenye mtoto akiwa mgonjwa ameshikwa na homa, you can't even sleep. This time mtu anakuambia, I'm sorry, your kid is no more. Then I'm like, what? Like, nilisikia ni kama ndatoa nywele zangu nikimbie juu niruke chini. I was like, no, I think I'm dreaming. You know that moment unaingia unalala kwa kitanda, then you wake up in the morning and then you're like, oh, thank you God. Thank you, it was just a dream. I really, really wished it was a dream at that moment. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It was not a dream. I talked to the doctor. I told the doctor, please, don't give up on her. Let's do one more time. So the third time, the doctor did not hesitate. So she looked at me and she was like, I understand, ma'am. The kid is gone, unfortunately. I mean, unaimagine mtu anakuambia mtoto amekufa. What do you mean the kid is dead? I don't understand. Please help me understand. Then the third time, he did shock her again. Then she was like, okay, I will do it. It was a lady. I will do it. Then the third time, nothing happened. The third time, the baby was sleeping on that bed. She was not blinking. She was not moving. She was getting cold. She was getting cold. And at the same time, I couldn't even help her. And that's the time it hit me that she's really dead. Because even the skin color, it changed. She got really dark than the way she normally is. Unafika hiyo moment, that moment you're thinking about so many things. So I'm like, how am I going How will I go back to that room and not have my kid with me? Guys,
when there's no more hope is left in me,